Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that's completely transformed my life and the lives of countless others throughout history: Stoicism. In a world of constant notifications, endless comparison, and non-stop stress, these ancient teachings have never been more relevant. The Stoics figured out how to find tranquility in chaos thousands of years ago, and their wisdom still applies perfectly today. So let's explore 20 powerful Stoic rules that can help you build resilience, find peace, and live a more meaningful life. Let's get started. Rule 1. Focus only on what you can control. Have you ever spent hours worrying about things completely outside your influence? The weather, other people's opinions, the economy? The Stoics identified this as one of our biggest sources of suffering. As Epictetus said, "Some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body or property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing." This simple distinction changes everything. By focusing exclusively on what you can control, your judgments, actions, and responses, you reclaim your power and eliminate needless anxiety. Rule 2. Practice negative visualization. This might sound counterintuitive, but regularly imagining losing the things you value most, your health, relationships, possessions, actually increases your happiness. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. By contemplating potential losses, you reduce fear of the unknown, prepare for life's difficulties, and most importantly, deeply appreciate what you currently have. When was the last time you really appreciated your ability to see, walk, or think clearly? Or the luxury of having clean water, shelter, or loved ones? Don't wait until something's gone to value it. Rule 3. Remember your mortality. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. The Stoics weren't being morbid, they were being realistic. Keeping your mortality in mind transforms how you live. Petty concerns fade away. You stop postponing what truly matters. You become more present and intentional with your limited time. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Rule 4. Turn obstacles into opportunities. The Stoics viewed obstacles not as misfortunes but as training grounds. Every setback is a chance to practice virtue and strengthen your character. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That project failure, a chance to learn resilience. That difficult person, a chance to practice patience. That health challenge, a chance to develop courage. The obstacle is the way. Rule 5. Practice voluntary discomfort. In our comfort-obsessed world, this Stoic practice is revolutionary. Regularly embracing discomfort, cold showers, fasting, hard physical training, builds your tolerance for life's inevitable difficulties. Seneca regularly practiced voluntary poverty, even though he was one of Rome's wealthiest men. Why? Because fearing discomfort makes you a slave to comfort. When you're comfortable being uncomfortable, you're unstoppable. Rule 6. Respond, don't react. Between stimulus and response lies a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose. The Stoics mastered this space. They understood that automatic reactions, anger, fear, jealousy, create most of our suffering. By pausing before responding, you can act from wisdom rather than impulse. Ask yourself, is this response helping me or others? Is it in line with my values? Rule 7. Accept what is fighting reality is like arguing with a brick wall, painful and pointless. The Stoics practiced amor fati, love of fate. This doesn't mean passively accepting injustice. It means acknowledging what's happened without wasting energy wishing it hadn't. As Epictetus said, "Don't seek for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and your life will flow smoothly." Rule 8. Live according to nature. For the Stoics, living according to nature meant two things. First, aligning with your rational nature by living virtuously. with wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. Second, accepting the natural order of the universe instead of fighting it. This means embracing your role as a social being, caring for others, and recognizing yourself as part of something larger. Rule 9, distinguish between appearance and reality. Our minds constantly add interpretations to raw events, but we mistake these interpretations for reality itself. Someone doesn't reply to your message. The event is simply no reply, but your mind might add, they're ignoring me, or they don't respect me. The Stoics practice separating facts from interpretations. This simple distinction dissolves most daily frustrations. Rule 10, cultivate indifference to indifferent things. The Stoics believed only virtue is truly good, and only vice is truly bad. Everything else, wealth, reputation, pleasure, even health, is indifferent. This doesn't mean these things have no value. It means their value is external and secondary. They're preferred, but not necessary for happiness. When you stop treating preferences as necessities, you reclaim your peace of mind. Rule 11, practice self-examination. The unexamined life is not worth living, said Socrates, a major influence on Stoicism. The Stoics ended each day with reflection. What did I do well? What could I improve? What virtues did I practice or neglect? This daily inventory accelerates growth and prevents repeating mistakes. Consider starting a Stoic journal to track your progress. Rule 12, speak little, but well. In a world of constant noise and oversharing, the Stoic practice of careful speech is radical. Epictetus advised, be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary and in a few words. Before speaking, ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Will it improve upon the silence? Quality over quantity applies to words too. Rule 13, focus on process, not outcomes. The Stoics knew that outcomes often lie beyond our control, but our effort and intentions are always within it. The archer aims carefully, but once the arrow leaves the bow, external factors take over. Wind, movement of the target, unforeseen obstacles. These determine the outcome. Focus on excellence in what and accept whatever results follow. Rule 14, practice gratitude daily. The Stoics understood that entitlement leads to misery, while gratitude leads to joy. Marcus Aurelius began each day listing what he was grateful for, including difficult people who helped him develop patience. As Epictetus said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Rule 15, seek constructive criticism. Most of us avoid criticism. The Stoics actively sought it out. They knew blind spots limit growth, and the perspective of others reveals what we cannot see ourselves. When receiving criticism, ask, what can I learn here? Rather than, how can I defend myself? Growth requires humility. Rule 16, care for your whole self. The Stoics practiced self-care long before it became trendy. They understood that body, mind, and spirit are interconnected. Physical exercise clears the mind. Intellectual study nourishes the soul. Spiritual practice gives perspective to daily struggles. Neglect any domain, and the others suffer. The Stoics aim for excellence in all aspects of being human. Rule 17, develop inner wealth. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, taught Epictetus, who spent years as a slave. Inner wealth, virtue, wisdom, self-sufficiency, cannot be stolen, lost, or diminished. External wealth creates as many problems as it solves. Simplify your desires rather than endlessly expanding your means. Rule 18, act, don't just study. Stoicism is meant to be lived, not just understood. Knowledge without action is merely information, not wisdom. As Epictetus said, don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better. Apply each principle in daily life, starting small. Theory without practice is empty. Rule 19, nurture your relationships. Though focused on inner development, the Stoics recognized our deeply social nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes. Practice justice and kindness in all interactions. Recognize that difficult people are usually suffering themselves. Respond with understanding rather than judgment. Rule 20. Return to principles daily. The Stoics knew that wisdom requires constant reinforcement. They reviewed their principles each morning before facing the day and reflected on their application each evening. As Epictetus advised, every day and night keep thoughts like these at hand. Write them, read them aloud, talk about them. This consistent practice gradually transforms your automatic responses to life's challenges. These 20 Stoic rules aren't just philosophical concepts. They're practical tools for navigating our complex world with grace and resilience. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. You don't need special equipment, perfect circumstances, or even belief in any particular worldview. You just need to practice. Start with one principle that resonates with you. Apply it consistently for a month. Notice the difference in your life, then add another. Remember, Stoicism isn't about becoming emotionless or accepting injustice. It's about responding to life's challenges with wisdom rather than reactivity and finding freedom regardless of external circumstances. If you found value in these principles, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos on practical philosophy. Share in the comments which rule resonated most with you or how you've applied Stoic principles in your own life. Thanks for watching, and remember, the obstacle is the way.